Hello crafters and welcome back. Like I said before, you can leave your project here and start matting and applying your pictures, but in my case, because I need to put 2 extra pictures, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do about the tag. However, at this point I would like to show you how we are going to mat this frame, because it's got a very odd width. Like here the width is 5/8 and here the width is 7/8. So how we are going to do this? By using our punch frame board, which only has increments in 1/4 of an inch. So in order to do that, I cut our frame at 10 3/4 by 10 3/4. Okay, and I placed this at 3/4 of an inch and 1/2 an inch. So you got this at a square at 10 3/4 by 10 3/4, and then your frame punch board on one side is going to be a 3/4 of an inch and on the other side a 1/2 an inch. And then of course make sure that when you punch you are going to respect the size in the sense like always have 3/4 of an inch on the 2 opposite sides and have 1/2 an inch on the opposite side. So that's why when I punch there, in order to keep this 3/4 of an inch size here, I turned it so I can get the same 3/4 of an inch size here. Then I came like this in order to keep the same 3/4 of an inch side here, and then again like this to keep 3/4 of a side here. So basically, as long as you can concentrate just on one side, the rest, and then of course turn the page accordingly, the rest comes up on its own. Okay, now what I'm going to do, let me put this on the side for the time being. What I'm going to do, I'm going to trim around 1/8 of an inch on all sides. So 1/8 of an inch from here, 1/8 of an inch from here, 1/8 of an inch, and 1/8 of an inch. So let's do that. So we know that originally this is 10 inch and 3/4. So now we are going to cut at 10 and 5/8. Okay. Now let's do the same on the opposite side. Turn it around, and because you already have 1/8 of an inch shorter, now it's going to be 10 and a half. 10 and a half. Okay. Now we need to also cut this remaining side, so I'm going to turn the paper like this, and again I'm going to first cut is going to be at 10 and 5/8. 10 and 5/8, and again turn it around to cut this side like that, and now it's going to be a 10 and a half. Next step is to, of course, remove the inside frame. So let me show what we have now, and it's easier to do on the other side where it's nice and white. So on the shorter width we have 3/8 of an inch, so I'm gonna place this so I can cut a 3/8 of an inch right about there. So, oh, 3, yeah, quarter, and no, hang on a second, something is not right. So I did say 3/8 of an inch, and that is correct. Hey, so this is a quarter and this is 3/8. This is the perfect way. I still feel like the paper is in the way. Now 3/8. Now we're going to do the same on the opposite side, so I'm going to do this at 3/8. Okay. Now here, this one is at 5/8. So let's put this at 5/8, right about there. And the same on the other side at 5/8. Great. And we've got our frame. And it should nicely mat our frame with 1/8 of an inch border. Yes, indeed. Perfect. So now we are going to apply tape, of course. And I'm also going to use a little bit of ink to ink it. So I used 1/2 inch tape on the wider sides of the frame, and now let's see if this is too wide. Yes, so now I'm going to use 1/4 of an inch for the thinner sides, and I'm applying the tape as close as possible to the outside border. Now I'm going to ink it. Okay, and once again, in order to make sure that I'm going to apply it nice and straight, because once we remove the tape backing we are not going to have the same wiggle room. I'm gonna place it right now, and I'm gonna make again those marks at the corners. And if two are straight, the rest should be straight too. But let's do another one. Okay, we are going to remove the tape just from one side for the time being. Okay. And place it, and place it down to match those marks that we've made with our pencil. That's on one side. And there's the other side. Okay, now we are ready to apply the rest of it. So let's remove the tape backing and very nice and slow, don't pull it because the paper has a tendency to stretch. Just let it lay down nicely. And that's it. Now your frame is nicely matted. There you go. So I was thinking, where should I put my my extra mat for the two pictures, and I have decided, actually I'm not sure what I've decided yet. I was thinking to put actually two long mats like this from one side to another, but in a way that looked too boring. Then I was thinking that I could put one like this going down in the middle, but then I was afraid that by doing so I am going to, like, the pictures that will be on this, it's gonna be visible, some visible here and some visible here. So again, I thought that was going to look a little bit weird. So I think what I am going to do, I'm just going to make a mat to fully cover just one side. So once like this, at least it covers the full picture, and once you remove it, then you can see the pictures underneath. So I am going to go with that idea. Right now I'm looking to see what's the direction of, yes, that's fine. So here we are, this is how it works. That's great. So then I am going to have, I have decided to put it here. No, you know what? I'm I'm going to put it to sit here on this side. So in order to do so, I'm going to cut a piece at that's actually exactly the width of the frame, because I'm going to cut it from the same. So this is 5/8. But I will have to cut it in such a way to actually give you the idea of continuity. And in order to do so, I'm gonna take this only because of the design of the paper. In order to do so, I'm going to take this strip and I am going to cut it first, just like here, to give this tiny little space between the flower at the edge. But like I said, this is just because of the design of my paper. But if anything else, just cut any piece of paper or cardstock at 6 1/4 by 5/8. So right now I'm trying to see. No, I have to cut a little bit more than that. Okay. I hope I didn't cut too much. Yes, I did now. Great. I'll just leave it like that. Okay. So let me cut this at 5/8 now. Because I really want this to kind of blend in. Okay. Wait, is this 5/8? Yeah. And this is also 5/8, but where is this one? Too much play. 5/8. This is so weird. And 5/8. But somehow this one feels or looks skinnier. Oh well, just leave it like that. Okay. Now, from a piece of black cardstock, I would like to cut a piece at 5/8. Okay, by 6 1/4. Okay, score it at 1/2 inch on both sides. I'm just gonna use a trimmer to do that. Burnish it down. And this I should cut a 5 1/4. So this will just mat on the outside. 5 1/4. Actually, I'll need 2 pieces. 5 1/4 and another 5 1/4. I hope I have enough here. Yes, I do, because I need 2 pieces like this, so I'm gonna cut one more, another piece at 5/8 of an inch. By 6 1/4, and score it a 1/2 inch on both sides. Great. I'm gonna quickly ink this. So I applied 3 strips of 1/8 of an inch, 2 very close to the sides and 1 in the middle. Oops. Don't go anywhere. Okay, that's one. Here I'm applying 3/8 of an inch tape. And just to make sure that this will stay put, I'm also gonna use some wet glue, just a dab. And when you apply it from the edge of the frame matting. This has exactly the same width as the wider sides of the frame. Okay. And we'll do the same up here. Gonna apply some wet glue. And once again, I'm gonna apply it from the edge of the matting frame. So from the edge of the matting frame and down. And then the mat, you are going to cut the mat at 5 1/8 by 10 3/4. So your mat should be, and I think I tested this one here, 5 1/8 by 10 3/4, and you're gonna use your corner punch. I think I used a 1/4 of an inch. Of course, this is not the real mat, this is the one that I tested. But that's just for me, like I said, because I need to use 2 extra pictures. You don't have to do this step. The only thing is I want to fit on this page all his birthday pictures, and I think I have 3 years of age, 4, 5 and 6 years of age. I can't remember the exact number, but I remember when I was thinking about this layout, I needed something to add 2 extra pictures, and this is what I thought of. When I'm going to, this is going to be from black cardstock, and what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to mat on this side exactly the same like here, the same matting, so it blends in, because right now it's covering the matting, so it cuts away from that a nice matting frame. Okay, so this will be on, you know, this is what I am going to do. I think it looks nice either way, but I would like to give that impression that, you know, this mat is actually part of the frame to play along with the design. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and add the picture and mat the entire layout, and when I'm done I will come back to show you what I've done and how it looks like with pictures. Thank you and see you later. Bye bye.